Hello, my name is Samantha and I'm a district nurse working somewhere near you. We visit housebound patients. We routinely see those either who have a short-term need, maybe they've had an operation, need us just for a few weeks, maybe for injections or wound care. We see those who have long-term chronic conditions that they can't manage on their own, maybe diabetes, or they might have a chronic wound. And we also see patients at the end of their life. Thank you for your interest, concern, support, and for me and for all those working in the NHS. We really appreciate it, and I've really appreciated the messages of support I've received from you, my brothers and sisters in Christ. I've been asked to help you understand some of the pressures that we're facing at the moment. I want to give you some ideas also of things to pray for and some practical ideas of things that maybe you can do if you know any healthcare workers personally, for me and my colleagues. So the word unprecedented has been used a lot to describe this current crisis. And in my work in the community, we know that hospitals are overwhelmed, and we see the knock-on effect of this in the often hidden environment of people's homes. We have more people to care for, maybe those with long-term conditions that would normally be managed in a clinic or hospital setting. They're coming our way. People are being discharged from hospital, sometimes with more complex needs. Maybe they're having IV antibiotics at home rather than in a hospital setting. And we're also seeing more palliative patients. Staffing levels are also a problem. We were already under pressure before, and now we have members of the team self-isolating because of their symptoms or because of the symptoms of those in their family. And we also have healthcare workers with young children who are struggling and juggling their childcare needs, and that is particularly tough for them. Many of our staff are worried about their own safety and those that are near and dear to them. We've had anxieties around PPE, and this remains an issue, although it's been much better this week. There are lots of positives too. We have redeployed staff who've come from a variety of areas to help us. These are experienced nurses and podiatrists who would normally be working in other settings. And processes have been simplified, communication is better. The sense of teamwork and purpose across the NHS is massive. There's a really good and strong team spirit. So thank you for praying for us and asking to pray and in this difficult time. If you can pray for a few specific things, that would be great. We really value your prayer for wisdom in the difficult decisions that are being faced at every level and in every environment, particularly when resources are limited, whether it's masks and PPE as well as ventilators and staffing issues. If you can pray for a sense of peace in the middle of the stress that's going on around us, that as Christians we would be seen to be trusting God, that we are able to trust Him, that we'll know His presence and that we'll be a witness to those around us. You can pray for strength, for endurance, for health, that we won't get burnt out. As Professor Chris Whitty said at the beginning, it's going to be a marathon and not a sprint, and we need God's provision and presence with us. Pray for the practical things too, for resources, for supply chains, for staff health, and the ability to stay calm under pressure. Pray for times of joy and thankfulness too, that we'll see people healed and restored, and that we'll see people coming to know God for the first time. I know too that people may want to know how to support healthcare workers that are known to them practically. And I think the obvious thing is to start by just thinking about who you know and how their work and family life may be affected at the moment. Praying for them, letting them know that you're praying for them, is really encouraging. Maybe not expecting to hear from them as much as you may normally. Obviously, if you're home, you may hope to hear from them, but I'm sure they'll get back to you when they can. We're all a bit spiritually isolated and routines are different, and we can't gather together in the normal ways. So particularly any spiritual encouragement, maybe particular prayers or verses from the Bible that you may want to send them, may be really of God's timing. They may benefit from the practical help of meals or shopping or simple cake baking, but obviously maybe check first, and old-fashioned cards and letters are always appreciated. Connecting with the healthcare workers that are your friends is really important and valuable, and just being kind of consistent with that over time, allowing them opportunity to talk or not to talk. At some points they may want to offload and share things, and at other times they may not be ready. They may just need you to provide the distraction and the fun that's a different environment and different things to talk about. I think there's some thought that it's afterwards, it's actually in a few months' time they may need to offload and may need support when the crisis seems to be over. If you're another healthcare worker and you've listened all the way through, well done, thank you. Maybe you could connect with another healthcare worker. I think we can often shortcut and share those insights into the pain and the joys of work. And I think offering to commit to pray for one another and to catch up occasionally is really valuable. Hopefully I've given you some insight into the pressures we're facing, some ideas for prayer and some practical ideas. But we're doing the job that we're trained and equipped to do. We want to do it. We're in the right place. We're in his hands. And brothers and sisters, we really appreciate your prayer support. We need you as much as you need us. Thank you for staying at home, for following the guidance, even when that's tough too. Thank you for clapping. And thank you again for your love and prayers. And look forward to seeing some of you, and as many of you as possible, when this is all over. Bye for now.